And right there, I think it needs to be touched up. And I'll just touch up the quick mask. Because that red area indicates an area that should not be selected. And I can come in here and just look around the edge. Right here, I think that had a softer edge because there was some reflection of the background onto the object. So I could grab my blur tool, just soften that edge. It's not going to blur the picture, it's just going to blur that edge. Okay. And any area that's black will end up not being selected when you type the letter Q. I should say any area that's red here, is a red overlay, will not be selected when you press Q and turn it off. So let's see how we could use this to make some complex selections that you might not otherwise think of. I want to select this little pirate guy. Let's see, it's going to do white balance on this, make sure he's white. Okay, the little pirate thing going on, I want to use that on something else. I want to get rid of the whole background. Well, there are many different ways of doing it. One method, though, would be to select all, which is the select menu in all. I'm so used to it, I just automatically type Command A, and then copy it. Okay? So we have that copied. Then I'm going to type the letter Q to turn on quick mask mode. I don't have a selection yet, but I can still turn on quick mask mode. And then I'm going to choose paste. And it's going to paste the image that I copied into the quick mask. So it's going to turn into a red overlay. Wherever the image was black, it'll be a red overlay. Wherever the image was white, there'll be no overlay. And now I just need to make sure that the areas out here were pure black and the areas in here were pure white instead of shades of gray. To do that, I can go over here and use levels. In levels, there are little eyedroppers. See those eyedroppers? You could use those. Use this to click on the area that should be black. Use the other one to click on the area that should be white. Or it might be easier to just look at this little bar chart. Do you see two big humps? Move these sliders until they're either in the middle or the end of the humps, depending on if your image is a soft edge or not. See the humps? Move those to the middles. What that did is it forced most of the bright part of the image to white. It forced most of the dark part of the image to black. Click OK, and now type the letter Q to turn off quick mask. We have a selection of that skull. I'll do it again in a different picture so you get a better sense for it. But we currently have a selection of it. Let's see how good the selection is. I'm going to fill it with a color. So I'll go over and open my layers, create a new layer. And we'll just fill it with black. Fill with black. And I'll hide what's underneath. And deselect. Okay. But we have the textures that were in there and everything like that. If we didn't want the textures, like over in here, all that means is when we were working on that mask, instead of pulling the sliders over to like the middle of the humps, pull them to the ends of the humps. And then this wouldn't be see-through here. Let's do it on another image. I think I asked my wife Karen to make some sort of one-colored graphic, and she came up with this thing. I want to remove the background on this. The problem with this is it's not just a simple logo where you would have a solid shade. Instead, she has a blur in here on this little shadow for the ball, and she has a blur in there on the tail as it's wagging. And that makes selecting this difficult. If I just use something like the Magic Wand tool, sure, I could select this solid colored area, but it wouldn't do it all good right here where the tail is. So what I would do is I would select all and copy. We're going to do the same technique we did a moment ago. And copy. Then I would turn on quick mask mode by typing letter Q. After typing the letter Q, I would choose paste to put something into the quick mask. And we just pasted in that graphic. It's hard to tell that we've done that because it looked like just the color of the graphic changed a little bit. But what happened is any area we had anything that had some darkness to it, it started to put a red overlay over the picture. It just happens to be that that red overlay combined with the original